You didn't overreact. Your body just remembered pain. You weren't weak. You were overwhelmed by what you never healed. Most people think they're broken, but they're just carrying emotions they never learned to understand. Today, we begin a journey to decode your emotions, quietly, deeply, from the inside out. Because when you understand what you're feeling, you no longer have to fight it. You can finally learn to sit with it, listen to it, and then let it go. This is Still Rise, where we grow in silence, master our mind, and build strength no one sees, but everyone feels. Subscribe and begin the quiet revolution. You didn't overreact. Your body just remembered something too painful to ignore. You weren't weak. You were overwhelmed by feelings you were never taught to hold. This is where your story begins, not by fixing yourself, but by finally understanding yourself. Today, we begin the journey to emotional mastery. Not by becoming emotionless, but by learning to feel without falling apart, because you are not your anger, not your fear, not your sadness. You are the one witnessing it all. Quietly, deeply, silently. Section 1. What are emotions? Really? Emotions are not weakness. Emotions are not the enemy. They are messages, signals, invitations. To understand what's happening inside, anger tells you something feels unfair. Fear tells you something feels unsafe. Sadness tells you something is missing. Joy tells you you're in alignment. Peace tells you you're whole. Every emotion is data, not drama. But when we ignore emotions, or judge them, rush to fix them, we stop learning from them, and they get louder. Section 2. The science of emotion. Deep inside your brain lies a small almond-shaped organ. It's called the amygdala, and it's the emotional alarm system of your body. It doesn't think. It doesn't wait. It just reacts. When you feel fear, it's your amygdala. When you feel rage, it's your amygdala. When you shut down or freeze, that's your nervous system going into protection mode. But here's the key. Your amygdala cannot tell the difference between a real threat and an emotional wound. That's why heartbreak feels like danger. Why rejection feels like death. Why silence can feel like abandonment. Your brain is trying to protect you. But protection isn't peace. That's what we're learning now. How to move from protection to peace. Section 3. Your body is carrying your emotions. Your mind remembers stories, but your body remembers how they felt. That sinking in your stomach, that tightness in your chest, that lump in your throat. That's not random. That's stored emotion. We suppress, we avoid, we stay busy, but the body keeps the score. Every time you silenced your voice to keep peace, your body remembered. Every time you smiled when you wanted to cry, your body held that tear. And every time you said, "I'm fine," it's when you weren't. Your body said, "I'll carry it." But now, it's time to return to your body. Gently, silently, safely. Section 4. Your childhood blueprint. You weren't born angry. You weren't born anxious. You learned it, you observed it, you absorbed it. Maybe your parents yelled. Maybe they stayed silent. Or maybe your emotions weren't safe to express. So now, as an adult, you don't know how to feel without fear. That's not your fault. But it is your responsibility now to unlearn what hurt you and relearn what heals you. That begins with noticing, gently, without judgment. Section 5. The gap between emotion and reaction. There is a space, a tiny, sacred space, between what you feel and what you do. Between the anger that rises and the words you choose. Between the fear you feel and the action you take. That space is your power. Most people react instantly, impulsively, emotionally, but reaction is slavery. Response is freedom. Learn to pause, breathe, count backwards. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Interrupt the emotional spiral. In that pause, you become conscious. And in that consciousness, you take control. Section 6. The unseen flood emotional overload doesn't begin with one big moment. It begins with 100 small ones. The text you didn't reply to, the smile you faked, the truth you swallowed. You push it down and down and down. Until one day, you explode. Not because of that final straw, but because of the 1,000 straws that came before it. Emotional flooding is real, and it's silent. That's why awareness is not optional, it's essential. Don't heal by avoiding the flood. Heal by learning to swim through it. Slowly, with eyes open. Section 7. Emotional literacy. Most people feel everything, but understand nothing. I'm mad, but are you really? Or are you hurt, ignored, disrespected, sad? The more clearly you can name what you feel, the more power you gain over it. Name it to tame it. That's not just a phrase, it's neuroscience. Labeling an emotion activates the prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain that calms the chaos. Start simple. I feel angry. I feel scared. I feel ashamed. These are not weaknesses. They are maps. And maps help you find your way back. Section 8. The man who felt nothing until he broke. He was strong, stoic, always composed. He never yelled, never cried, never showed fear. But inside, he was crumbling. One day during a routine meeting, someone said something small, insignificant, and he broke. He yelled. He walked out. Everyone was shocked. But they didn't see the years of swallowed emotions, of silent suffering, of pretending to be okay. Suppression looks calm until it erupts. Emotional control. It's not pretending you don't feel. It's feeling it fully without letting it control you. Section 9. What happens when you suppress emotion? When you suppress emotion, it doesn't disappear. It hides. In your muscles, in your posture, in your tone, in your stomach. Suppressed sadness becomes fatigue. Suppressed fear becomes control. Suppressed anger becomes resentment. Emotion must move, or it festers. It's like stagnant water. You don't need to explode. You just need to release. Through words. Through movement. Through breath. Through silence. Give your emotions somewhere to go, so they don't go through you. Section 10. Tuning in, not tuning out. Your phone won't fix it. The next episode won't heal it. Distraction is modern numbness. We don't feel better. We just stop feeling. But what you don't feel, you can't heal. Turn inward. Gently, quietly. Close your eyes. Ask, what am I feeling right now? Not what you should feel. Not what they want you to feel. Just what's real. Your emotions are not against you. They are your compass. And now, you're learning to listen. You're not broken. You're becoming aware. You were never broken. You were never too emotional. You were never weak. You just weren't taught. No one taught you to pause. No one taught you to name. No one taught you to feel. But now, you're learning. And learning is powerful. You're becoming aware. And awareness is the beginning of control. Breathe. You're already healing. Silently, steadily, from within. The silent triggers some storms. Don't begin with thunder. They begin quietly, with a cloud, a shift in the wind, a pressure you can't yet name. Emotional storms are the same. Most people think they just snapped, but the truth is, something triggered you. And most of those triggers are silent. Section 1. What is a trigger? A trigger is not weakness. It's a doorway, a signal that something deep inside you has been touched. Sometimes by words, sometimes by looks, sometimes by silence. Triggers are your past, whispering into your present. They are not here to destroy you. They are here to show you. Were you still hurt? Section 2. The 3 layers of triggers. Not all triggers are the same. Some are surface level, traffic waiting too long in line, someone interrupting you. These are irritations, manageable. Some are mid-level. A tone of voice, a look that feels dismissive being ignored in a group. These touch your insecurities. They sting, but they're still manageable if you notice them. And then, there are deep-level triggers. Rejection, abandonment, betrayal, feeling unworthy or invisible. These don't just sting, they open old wounds. And if you don't know they exist, they control you. Section 3. The past and the present. You think you're angry at the person in front of you. but really, you're angry at the person who hurt you years ago. You think you're afraid of this situation, but really you're afraid of being powerless. The way you once were, triggers connect your now to your then. They pull memories you didn't choose to remember. They disguise themselves as the current moment. Section 4. Why triggers feel so strong. Your brain's emotional system. The amygdala doesn't have a calendar, doesn't know the difference between 10 years ago and 10 seconds ago. When you're triggered, your body thinks the threat is happening now. Your heart races, your breath shortens, your muscles tense. This is why it feels overwhelming. You're not just reacting to the present. You're reacting to the past, as if it's still here. Section 5. Silent triggers. You don't notice not all triggers are loud. Some are almost invisible. Certain perfume or cologne, a song from years ago, a place that feels heavy, a time of year that makes you restless. These silent triggers operate in the background. You might feel off and not know why, but your body knows. Your subconscious knows. Awareness is the first step to reclaiming control. Section 6. The mirror effects. People often trigger us because they reflect something in ourselves. If you're triggered by someone's arrogance, maybe you were taught to never speak up. If you're triggered by someone's laziness, maybe you were forced to overwork to be valued. Triggers are mirrors. They don't just show us others, they show us ourselves. Section 7. The pause practice when triggered. The urge to react is instant. That's when you pause. Breathe. Name the emotion. Name the trigger. I feel angry because I felt dismissed. I feel afraid because I've been here before. The more specific you are, the less power the trigger holds. Section 8. Desensitizing the trigger. Awareness is step 1. Exposure is step 2. You cannot heal from a distance. Slowly, gently, return to the trigger in safe ways. If crowds trigger you, start with small gatherings. If rejection triggers you, practice asking for small favors and accept no calmly. Healing is gradual, but every step you take toward the trigger is a step away from its control over you. Section 9. The trigger journal. Keep a quiet record, not to obsess, but to observe. Each time you're triggered, right? What happened? What did I feel? Where did I feel it in my body? What memory comes to mind? Patterns will appear, and patterns can be rewritten. Section 10. The gift of triggers. Triggers are teachers. They show you the wounds you still carry. They reveal where you are not yet free. They are not punishments. They are invitations. Invitations to heal, to grow, to reclaim the parts of you still living in the past. One day, what triggers you now will no longer have the power to move you. That is the quiet victory, emotional mastery. The pause that saves you a single second can save you years of regret. The difference between reacting and responding is often just one pause, a breath, a beat, a moment. This is the art of the pause that saves you. Section 1. The space between. Viktor Frankl once wrote, "Between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom." That space is the pause. But in modern life, that space is shrinking. It's notifications, pressure, speed. We don't pause anymore. We react instantly. An instant reaction is the enemy of emotional control. Why we don't pause? Your brain is wired for survival. When it detects a threat, real or imagined, it bypasses logic. Your amygdala takes over. This is called amygdala hijack. You act without thinking. This kept our ancestors alive. But in today's world, most threats aren't physical. They're emotional, and emotional threats require emotional control. Section 3. The power of slowing down. Imagine you're standing in a rushing river. The current pulls you hard. If you fight it, you'll drown. But if you plant your feet, let the water rush past. You can stay steady. The pause is that steady ground. It lets the first wave of emotion pass before you act. Section 4. How to pause in the heat of the moment. The moment you feel triggered. Stop, literally. Plant your feet. Breathe in for 4. Hold for 4. Out for 4. Say in your mind, I am in control of me. This short circuits the emotional flood. It gives your prefrontal cortex, your rational brain, time to come back online. Section 5. Counting backwards when emotions rise. Logic falls. Counting backwards from 5 forces your brain to focus. It interrupts the spiral. Mel Robbins calls this the 5-second rule. Use it before speaking, before sending the text, before making the decision. A 5-second pause can save you 5 years of damage. Section 6. Silence as a strategy in a heated moment. Silence can be your greatest strength. Not cold silence, not punishing silence, but the silence of listening to yourself, to the other person, to the truth under the noise. Most arguments escalate because no one is listening. When you pause in silence, you change the entire temperature of the room. Section 7. Training the pause daily. The pause is not just for crises. Practice it daily. Before answering a question, before taking the next bite, before checking your phone. Small pauses strengthen your control. They train your brain to choose instead of react. Section 8. The emotional reset when you pause. You give yourself a reset button. Your body chemistry changes. Cortisol, the stress hormone, drops. Your heart rate slows. Your breath deepens. In that calm, you can see clearly again. And clarity is the key to wise decisions. Section 9. The long pause. Not every pause is seconds long. Sometimes the best response is, I'll get back to you tomorrow. Hours a day, a week. Distance gives perspective. What feels urgent now might feel irrelevant later. Let time work for you. Section 10. The pause as power. People think control is about never feeling. It's not. Control is about feeling fully, without letting the feeling decide for you. The pause is your sword and your shield. Wield it well, and you will be unshakable. Emotions and the body. Your mind speaks in thoughts. Your body speaks in sensations, but most of us only listen to one. The truth is, every emotion you've ever felt has lived in your body. This chapter is about learning its language. Section 1. The body's emotional map. Anger is heat in your chest. Fear is tension in your stomach. Sadness is heaviness in your shoulders. Joy is lightness in your breath. Peace is stillness in your muscles. Emotions are not abstract. They are physical events. You don't just feel emotions. You hold them. Section 2. The nervous system's role. Your nervous system has 2 main states. 1. Sympathetic. Fight or flight. 2. Parasympathetic. Rest and digest when you're triggered. Your sympathetic system floods you with adrenaline. When you're calm, your parasympathetic system releases you into peace. Emotional control is not just mental. It's nervous system regulation. Section 3. Your body remembers a heartbreak from 10 years ago. Can still make your chest ache today. A childhood scolding can still make your shoulders tense now. The mind can forget, but the body holds on till you teach it to let go. Section 4. Breath. The bridge between mind and body. Your breath is the remote control for your nervous system. Shallow breaths signal danger. Slow, deep breaths signal safety. Try this. Inhale for 4. Hold for 4. Exhale for 6. Within minutes, your body will calm and your mind will follow. Section 5. Posture shapes emotions. Slumped shoulders. Tell your body you are defeated. Chin down. Tells your body you are unsafe. Straight spine. Shoulders back. Deep breath. Tells your body, we are safe. We are strong. Your body believes your posture. Use it wisely. Section 6. Movement moves. Emotion stuck. Emotion needs movement. Walk, stretch, dance. Movement signals to the body. We are processing. We are letting go. Even a slow walk can untie emotional knots. Section 7. The power of stillness. Not all emotions need movement. Some need stillness. Sit. Feel the ground beneath you. Let your breath slow. Let your muscles unclench. In stillness, the body finds safety. And safety melts the emotion. Section 8. Listening to your body's warnings. Headaches, fatigue, stomach aches. These are not random. They are whispers from your body. It's something emotional is unresolved. If you ignore the whispers, it becomes shouts. Listen early. Heal sooner. Section 9. Training your body for calm emotional control is physical training. Practice daily, deep breathing, relaxed posture. Gentle stretching, mindful walking. The more often your body knows calm, the faster it returns to it. Section 10. The body as an ally. Your body is not against you. It is your greatest ally. Every emotion it sends is a message, not to be feared, but to be heard. The more fluently you speak your body's language, the more unshakable you become. Naming the storm. A storm is only chaos. Until you name it, then it becomes a pattern. And patterns can be understood. When you name what you feel, you begin to master it. Section 1. Why naming matters. You can't fight what you can't see. You can't master what you can't name. Most people say, I'm fine, or I'm stressed, or I'm angry. But these are umbrella words. They hide the truth underneath. Anger might actually be frustration, resentment, embarrassment. Hurt. The more precise your words, the calmer your mind. Section 2. The science of labeling emotions. Neuroscience calls it affect labeling. When you name what you feel, your brain shifts activity from the amygdala emotion to the prefrontal cortex logic. This is why saying, I feel anxious actually reduces anxiety the moment you name the storm. It loses some of its force. Section 3. From vague to specific. I'm sad is vague. I feel lonely is specific. I'm angry is vague. I feel disrespected is specific. The brain calms when it understands the exact threat. Vague feelings feel endless. Specific feelings feel solvable. Section 4. The emotional vocabulary gap. Most people only know a handful of emotion words. That's like trying to paint with only 2 colors. The richer your vocabulary, the richer your self-awareness. Sad gives lonely, hopeless, grieving, disappointed. Angry gives irritated, bitter, betrayed, frustrated. Afraid gives nervous. Insecure, overwhelmed, uncertain. Learn the shades. Paint with more colors. Section 5. The I feel framework. Use 3 simple steps. 1. Name the emotion. I feel hurt. 2. Name the reason. Because my effort wasn't acknowledged. 3. Name the need. I need to feel valued. This moves you from chaos to clarity. Section 6. Speaking the storm aloud. Don't just name it in your head. Say it aloud. Whisper it if you must. Your nervous system hears the calm tone and follows it. I feel nervous right now. I feel defensive because I think I'm being judged. Speaking the storm dissolves its power. Section 7. When you can't name it, sometimes the storm feels nameless. In those moments, ask yourself, where do I feel it in my body? Chest, stomach, shoulders? Then ask, what does it remind me of? Often, the name will appear. Section 8. The gentle naming practice each night. Before sleep. Write down 3 emotions you felt that day. Name them specifically. Over time, you'll notice patterns. The same storms will appear. And once you name a pattern, you can prepare for it. Section 9. Naming without judgment. Don't label emotions as good or bad. They are all data. Anger isn't bad. Sadness isn't weak. They are signals, and signals are meant to be understood. Section 10. The calm after the naming. The storm inside you will always feel bigger till you name it. Once named, it becomes a map. A map is the first step to finding your way home. The Stoic way, thousands of years ago, before psychology, before therapy, before self-help books, there were philosophers, men and women who studied the mind, not to control others, but to control themselves. They were called Stoics, and their way still works today. Section 1. What Stoicism really is. Stoicism is not about feeling nothing. It's about feeling everything, without being ruled by it. It's the art of choosing your response. Even when life feels unfair, Stoics asked one question daily: what can I control, and what can I not? Section 2. The circle of control you cannot control. Other people's words, the weather, the past, the future, you can control. Your thoughts, your actions, your attitude, your effort. Focusing on what you control is emotional power. Focusing on what you can't is emotional exhaustion. Section 3. Perception shapes reality to people. Same event, one sees disaster, one sees opportunity. The event didn't change, the perception did. Stoics train their mind to ask, what else could this mean? This question turns pain into purpose. Section 4. The discipline of desire, the Stoics taught. Don't wish for life to be easier, wish to be stronger. They did not chase comfort. They practiced discomfort, cold baths, sleeping on the floor, fasting. Why? To prove to themselves that they could survive without what they thought they needed. Section 5. Amor fati, love of fate. Amor fati means love your fate, not tolerate it, not endure it, but embrace it fully. If it happened, it was meant to teach you something. Even loss, even failure, even heartbreak. This mindset turns every wound into wisdom. Section 6. The obstacle is the way to the Stoics. Obstacles were not interruptions. They were the path itself. Every challenge you face is a training ground for your mind. The harder the obstacle, the stronger the mind it creates. Section 7. Negative visualization. Stoics imagined losing what they loved. It's not to be miserable, but to be grateful. Picture life without your job, without your home, without someone you cherish. Suddenly, you see how much you already have. Gratitude becomes unshakable. Section 8. Control the inner, ignore the outer. The world outside you is loud, but the Stoics live from the inside out. If your inner world is steady, no storm outside can shake you. This is emotional invincibility. Section 9. The daily Stoic practice. Morning. Ask, what can I control today? Afternoon. Pause before reacting. Evening. Review the day without judgment. Every day is a chance to practice the Stoic way. Section 10. The modern Stoic. You don't need a toga to live stoically. You just need perspective, discipline, acceptance. Live by this truth. You can't control the world. You can control yourself. That is enough. The inner child and emotional wounds inside every adult. There is a child, not the playful kind, not the laughing kind, but the wounded kind. The one who was told to be quiet, the one who was ignored, the one who learned. Love had conditions. That child still lives in you, and sometimes they are the one reacting. Section 1. The unseen influence. You think you're angry at your coworker? You're angry because, as a child, you were often dismissed. You think you're afraid of public speaking, but really, you're afraid of being laughed at like you once were in school. The past is not past until it is healed. Section 2. How childhood shapes reaction. A child who is never heard becomes an adult who overreacts to being interrupted. A child who was controlled becomes an adult who rebels against any authority. A child who was abandoned becomes an adult terrified of being left. Our triggers are often our childhood wounds in disguise. Section 3. Recognizing the inner child. When your reaction feels bigger than the situation, that's the child speaking. When you feel powerless, when you want to run, when you want to yell, that's the child begging for protection. Section 4. Reparenting yourself. The love you didn't get then, you can give yourself now. Speak to yourself gently. Give yourself permission to rest. Give yourself the approval you once craved. You can't change the past, but you can change the way you treat yourself today. Section 5. Setting boundaries for the child. Within some environments, feel unsafe to your inner child. Learn to walk away. Learn to say no. Boundaries are not walls. They are doors that you control. Section 6. The dialogue method. Close your eyes. Picture yourself as a child. Ask, what are you feeling right now? Listen, then say, I'm here. You're safe. I've got you. It might feel strange, but to your nervous system, this is real comfort. Section 7. Healing through presence. The child within you doesn't need you to fix everything. They need you to stay, to not abandon them the way others did. When sadness rises, stay. When fear shakes you, stay. Presence is the medicine. Section 8. Breaking the cycle, unhealed wounds. Don't just hurt you, they hurt everyone you love. Heal, and you stop passing the pain forward. This is how cycles end. Section 9. The integration. The goal is not to silence the inner child. The goal is to integrate them, to let them be heard, to let them be safe, so they no longer have to scream, to be noticed. Section 10. The adult in the room. Every time you pause, every time you respond with calm, every time you choose wisdom over impulse, you become the adult your inner child always needed, and that is true emotional mastery. The art of letting go. You can't hold the past to move into the future. At the same time, every grudge, every resentment, every should have been is a weight on your back. Letting go is not forgetting. Letting go is freedom. Section 1. Why we hold on? We hold on to pain because it's proof it mattered. We hold on to anger because it makes us feel strong. We hold on to stories because without them, we're not sure who we are, but holding on doesn't protect us. It poisons us. Section 2. The weight of the past. Imagine carrying a stone for every hurt, every betrayal, every injustice. You think you're carrying them, but really they're carrying you. They shape your walk. They slow your step. Letting go is putting the stones down. Section 3. Letting go doesn't mean it was okay. Forgiving doesn't erase what happened. It doesn't excuse it. It doesn't mean you have to trust again. It means you refuse to let it control you any longer. You close the door. So the past stops walking into your present. Section 4. The illusion of control. We replay the hurt in our mind, thinking if we analyze it enough, it will make sense. It won't. The past cannot be changed, but the story you tell yourself about it can be. Section 5. The emotional cost of holding on. Resentment is like drinking poison and waiting for the other person to die. You suffer twice, once from the event itself, and once every time you relive it. Letting go ends the second suffering. Section 6. The small release practice. You don't have to let go of everything at once. Start small. Release the little annoyances first. The driver who cut you off, the rude comment online, the line that moved too slowly. Train your brain to release quickly, so it learns to release the big things. Section 7. Breathing the pain out. When a memory grips you, sit still. Inhale deeply. Imagine pulling the pain into your breath. Exhale slowly. Imagine it leaving your body. May return tomorrow. Breathe it out again. Letting go is not one moment. It's a practice. Section 8. Replacing the story. The past is a book you can't rewrite, but you can choose how you tell it. 2. They taught me my strength. Each change, I lost everything. 2. I learned what matters most. A new story creates a new future. The gift you give yourself. Letting go is not a gift to them. It's a gift to you. You get back your peace, get back your energy, get back your life. Section 10. Walking forward. Light. Imagine walking into tomorrow. Without the weight of yesterday. Imagine breathing without the knot in your chest. Imagine smiling without bitterness in your heart. That is what letting go feels like. That is what you deserve. Emotional resilience. Life will not stop testing you. Storms will keep coming. You can't control the weather, but you can build a stronger ship. That ship is emotional resilience. Section 1. What resilience really means. Resilience is not never falling. It's getting up every single time you fall. It's bending without breaking. It's hurting, but still moving forward. Section 2. The resilient mindset. Resilient people don't ask, "Why me?" They ask, "What now?" They don't see themselves as victims. They see themselves as survivors and students of life. Section 3. Accepting, not resisting. Pain resisted doubles. Pain accepted teaches. Resilience begins when you stop asking life to be fair. Start meeting it as it is. Section 4. The bounce back habit. When something knocks you down, decide how long you'll stay down. 1 day, 1 week, then. Keep that promise to yourself. Shorten the gap between falling and rising. That gap is where resilience grows. Section 5. Strengthening through small challenges. Don't wait for a crisis to test you. Seek small discomforts daily. Wake up early. Exercise when you don't feel like it. Say no when it's hard. These small tests prepare you for the big ones. Section 6. The power of perspective in the middle of the storm. Zoom out. Ask yourself, will this matter in a year? In 5 years, most problems shrink. When seen from the mountaintop. Section 7. Emotional flexibility resilience is not rigid. Rigid things snap. Flexible things bend and survive. Be willing to adapt. Change the plan, not the goal. Section 8. The circle that holds you no one is resilient alone. Even the strongest trees are held by the forest. Build your circle, people who remind you who you are when you forget. Section 9. Learning from the fall, every setback is a textbook. What did this teach me about life? What did this teach me about me? Without the lesson, the pain is wasted. Section 10. Unbreakable. The goal is not to avoid storms. The goal is to walk into them knowing you will come out the other side. Battered maybe, changed for sure, but never broken. Living in emotional mastery, you have walked through the fire. You have met your shadows. You have learned to pause, to breathe, to let go. Now, it is time to live this. Section 1. It's a practice, not a destination. Emotional mastery is not a medal you win once. It's a skill you practice daily. Some days you'll slip. Some days you'll shine. Both days count. Section 2. The morning mindset. Begin each day with intention. Today, I choose my response. Just saying it prepares your mind for control. Section 3. Midday check-in. Pause halfway through your day. Ask yourself, what am I feeling right now? Naming it keeps you from being swept away by it. Section 4. The evening release. Don't take the day's emotions to bed. Write them down. Let them live on paper, not in your chest. Section 5. Guard your inputs. What you consume becomes how you feel. Be intentional about what you watch, what you read, who you spend time with. Emotional mastery starts with mental diet. Section 6. Keep the tools close when life hits hard. Don't forget what you've learned. The pause, the breath, the naming, the letting go, the perspective shift. Tools only work if you use them. Section 7. Be the calm in the room. You can't control the storm outside, but you can be the calm inside it. People will feel your steadiness, and sometimes that's the greatest gift you can give. Section 8. Teach what you live. Share your calm with others, not by preaching, but by living it. Your example will be someone else's light. Section 9. The true measure of mastery. Emotional mastery is not about never feeling pain. It's about never letting pain decide who you are. It's choosing love over bitterness, peace over chaos, wisdom over impulse. Section 10. Your next step from this day forward. You're the master of your emotions, not the other way around. When the storm comes, and it will, stand tall. You've trained for this. You are ready. If this journey helped you, let it help someone else. Share this video with a friend who needs calm. And if you want more wisdom like this, subscribe, because your emotional mastery has only just begun.